if you just move your body into the water at a pace that you're comfortable with, and I think if you start at a reasonable temperature, so you don't go too extreme to start, you acclimate your body to what you're dealing with. Oh man, within a minute, I was feeling like a new man. Welcome back to the Talk Midland podcast. My name is Logan Richetti with Modern Realty. Today I have my friend Michelle Lang with Lavish Style Studios. Yes. And this is a building that you've owned for a while off of Hedgewood Drive in Midland. And the reason that we're talking is for one of the new businesses you've installed inside of it, right?
Correct.
That's Vital Hydrate.
Correct.
So let's go back to the beginning because I want to talk about my experience at Vital Hydrate and what it actually is, what you're offering. But let's start back with a little bit of history of Lavish Style Studios, what you have in there, and then we'll get into the new business that you've installed.
Yeah. So 2020 was a huge hit for everybody. The main thing for me was going back into the workplace with a healthy mindset. I didn't want to go into another open air salon. So just because of immunity issues within our family, our friends, I just didn't want to deal with it. So went and looked for a building. This building came available. We purchased it, started renovating it, and here we are today. We're 6 independent studios that house from hair, nails, aesthetics, IV therapy, and then now the wellness center.
All right, what's the address? It's
4915 Hedgewood Drive.
Okay, so I pulled in there the other day. I recognize the building, and I've been in the building before, but you've done a really nice job of reconfiguring some things. And so you have several different operations going on underneath the same roof, starting with what you just said, nails, hair.
Yep.
What else? You just said it, but
there's hair, nails, aesthetics, which is facials, esthetician,
okay,
skincare.
Okay.
She also does microblading and permanent eye makeup and lashes. And then IV lounge, which is IV vitamin therapy or injections. And then the wellness center, which is the sauna, red light therapy, chromotherapy, and now the cold plunge.
As you probably know from our few conversations, I have a lot of physical problems and pain, chronic pain. And I think a lot of people listening have chronic pain of one type or another, whether it be arthritis, an injury, or a bunch of other stuff, cancers, all kinds of different things. And so something that's been very important to me in the last few years specifically is trying to figure out ways to take better care of my body using vendors and different offerings like this. And I've never found, there's not a lot of cold plunge, IV therapy, or sauna, red light stuff in town, nor is there a lot of the IV therapies and things like that. I'll be honest with you, when we reached out together, we started talking about what you had in there. When I heard about the IV stuff, I was a little bit guarded. But you and I had a talk in the lobby the other day, and you told me all about it. There's a lot going on there. How does that really work? And what are the benefits of having IV therapy? What are you trying to achieve? And I saw the building. It's pretty nice. You go into the room. It's a nice chair. You get to sit in and sit back and relax. It's not like being in the hospital. No. It's a calm environment. And then so you have a registered nurse. Is that right? Or a nurse practitioner or somebody.
Registered nurse.
Yeah, registered nurse who's qualified to inject these supplements, fluids, whatever they are. What are they and what do they do?
So there is a medical director on board too. And then we have 3 RNs who administer the vitamins, whether it's through IV, which is, right into your vein intravenously. And then there's injections, which is a shot. The whole basis of it is a lot of people can't swallow pills. For me personally, my digestive system doesn't handle pills. So I was looking for alternative therapies to where I could get 100% absorption of what I was taking. So that's where this came from. And with all the health and medical stuff that I've been through too, I kind of went down a rabbit hole of nutrition and holistic health, naturopath health. And I came up with the high dose of vitamin C that, I won't go into a whole lot, but with breast cancer, it helps with that. So I was going to Lapeer to get my injections done or infusions done weekly. And I have the building. So I was like, why don't I see what it takes to put one here? So that's how it came about. But the main thing is orally, 30% you're absorbing. When you do it intravenously, you're getting 100% absorption. So for those people who have hard or easy or stomachs that upset easy, this is an alternative for them.
So what are some of the products that can be offered through IV?
So you can do vitamin C, which is an antioxidant. We have B12, which is for energy. There is amino acids that we can do, glutathione, which is a huge antioxidant for inflammation. There's all kinds of them. Magnesium, huge for everybody's learning about magnesium right now. What else is there? B complex. And then we also offer the infusions, which you can do them all together with hydration, which overall hydration for your body. A lot of people are dehydrated and they don't even know it.
And so you start with your doctor and you get a consultation with your doctor?
You don't have to. Okay. If there are severe issues that somebody is wanting to address, we do talk to the doctor that's on staff, or they can bring in blood work from their doctor and we can consult that way and go over it and find the best protocol for you. A lot of people that come in know what they're coming in for, though. It's like you said, not like a hospital setting. They actually come in because they want to be there. They don't have to be there. They're choosing a different type of treatment.
I have a couple buddies that have done this before, and one in particular who's told me about it. And he does it on a regular basis just to feel better and to keep his hydration up and things like that. But how do you know what you need? Do you need blood work to tell you, or?
You can, but you don't need it. Your body is only going to absorb what it needs. They're water soluble vitamins other than our vitamin D. That you can only get a certain amount per year, so we keep very good track of that. But for the most part, you can't overdose on this because they're water soluble. You can have allergic reactions for sure, but it's monitored by the RNs and taken notes taken care of everybody. So,
what is the magic of vitamin C?
Oh, that might be a little difficult to go into because there's a lot of controversy about it.
Okay.
High doses of vitamin C are known to help along and aid with cancers, all kinds of overall health. It's a huge antioxidant. It boosts your immunity. It's just a great vitamin that everybody should be having.
Is there any downside to taking a supplement of vitamin C?
Not that I know of. That would be a question for the medical staff.
All right, let's go.
Downsides and upsides and all of that can go one way very
Rabbit
quickly.
hole.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's safe to say that if you're going to consider doing a lot of injections of supplements, that you either have blood work done or you consult with a physician and find out what they think you need and where you should focus, and then and make an organized and thoughtful plan before you get too deep down the rabbit holes, because you don't want to.
For sure.
You can take health too far in either direction. Trying to over answer the problems or whatever. But it's very interesting,
right.
And I'm looking at it. Trying to get comfortable with injections as the way that they come through. But I think a lot of people, if they feel the results of the delivery of the supplement, then taking through an IV is not that big a deal.
Most people feel it immediately.
Really?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
While they're sitting in the chair?
While they're sitting there.
Really?
Yep.
That's pretty wild.
Within 3 seconds, you can taste it.
No kidding.
So, And then you have to troubleshoot how your body reacts to it, too. I get one every 6 weeks. I don't take any oral supplements. That's just what I've been doing for 3 years. I listen to my body, which a lot of people don't listen to their bodies. They're just out there taking what they're told to take. So that's huge. You have to listen to your body and be in tune with it.
Well, I have a vitamin regimen that I take morning and night when I'm doing it right, and a lot of it flows right through your urine, and you lose a lot of it.
Yep.
And then if you take it when you haven't eaten yet, you can get massive stomach issues. It hurts. It almost ruins your day if you don't eat with it. So there are some downsides to the vitamin style of supplements. So this is certainly an interesting alternative.
This is an alternative because it does bypass the digestive system, so you can use higher doses of vitamins for more advanced results in what you're looking for.
Interesting. All right, let's talk about the wellness room.
Okay.
Because this is what gets me smiling.
Right.
And you were very
Me too.
You were very generous to let me have a trial for the show so I could describe my experience. And I had a magical experience in this thing. So let's walk through it first. First of all, it's a closed room. It's a cozy room. It's very well laid out. It's very warm and cozy. It's secure. You have a You have an electronic lock on the door. And so a code gets you into that door, but it locks from the outside, so nobody can interrupt you while it's like being in a locker room kind of. You want to have privacy.
Right.
But obviously you can walk right out through the door from your side, so you're safe and secure on that end. But you know that you can go in there and you can have your hour where nobody's bothering you and you can just relax, right?
Yep.
The first thing that you had me do was enjoy the sauna with the infrared. And you have a state-of-the-art system in there. It's very comfortable. And one of the things that I really liked about it was the Bluetooth capability. So I was able to connect to your Bluetooth through the internet and play music with my phone in a closed cubby, but I could access it. And it had surround sound speakers inside of it. So I was able to put the music on that I wanted to listen to while I was zoning out.
You can either relax or jam out.
You can relax, you can jam out. If you're like me, you can listen to a podcast or you listen to music, whatever. But that's nice because it helps the time pass, but also helps you to relax and enjoy the ambiance a little bit more than you otherwise would if you were just sitting in a closed room by yourself.
Right.
That's really a nice little feature of it. Now, the sauna itself was very easy to operate. And you gave me instructions the first time beforehand. And I also read the ones that you had written down there too. It's very simple to operate. You turn it on, you put it to the right temperature, you hit start, whatever. And there's a timer. And so operating the sauna on your own, because this is actually something that you do on your own. There's no staff in there to talk to or deal with. You go in there and you enjoy it and then you leave. So people need to understand how to do that. But and you walked me through it because I'm simple. Right. But now I know how to do it. I'm going today after this.
Yeah,
so I know
the
exactly.
First time I will always walk you through.
Okay. Oh, that's good.
For new guests, I will always walk you through the first time.
Well, that makes it easy.
Yeah.
I mean,
so today you're on your own.
I'm stuck. All right. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to get a code 15 minutes before the appointment. That's the security. And obviously it's scheduled through Schedulicity, which is really easy to schedule. Yep. You sent me the link. I scheduled the date and the time, paid, done, piece of cake. You sent me the acknowledgments and all the other stuff. And it's going to send me a code. I'm going to get in with the code. I'm going to close the door. Is the sauna going to be on or do I need to turn it on?
No, it's on.
Is it on all day?
Yeah, I run it all from my phone.
Oh, wow. That's so wild.
Even the cold plunge.
Okay. So you are controlling the controls on that remotely, which is amazing.
Yep.
So when I get in there, it'll be warmed up, ready to go. And all I'll need to do is turn on the infrared light, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So when you walk in.
The red light.
Excuse me, the red light. Yeah.
Red light.
So the box, you walk into it, it's got a glass door, you sit down on a bench. There's a couple extra bench seats that make it feel good. There's all kinds of really nice fluffy towels.
Right.
The towels are really nice. I mean, they're really nice. So you can grab towels to sit on and you can grab towels for your face. And then obviously a towel to get out when you're done to dry off. And you can actually go in there naked if you want.
Right.
And I did that. And it was a very freeing feeling. It was a good feeling. I mean, to each their own. But I was a little unsure if I want to walk into something naked. But I was like, you know what? Let's do it. She said, do it naked. I did it naked. And the red light is right in front of you. And obviously you can twist your body or I laid down for a minute to try that. You can turn around and get your back on it for a while. But it's a very pronounced light, but it's very soothing.
Right.
It's a soothing red light, and then obviously the temperature is increasing and you're starting to sweat. Your body's opening up. I don't know exactly how to describe the light, but it feels like you're floating a little bit.
It does.
Is that how you say it?
Well, it's because of the way it lights up the room.
Yeah.
It's just like you're in this ambiance of, like you said, floating. Like you just feel like you're in a different world.
Yeah. And you can feel it on your body.
Yeah.
So what are some of the things that the red light does to your body? Obviously it helps with aging and healing your cells or what?
So I'll just touch it a little bit on what each one does. But let's back up a little bit too, because the reason why I have no staff is because I've managed people before. I'm not in that stage of my life right now. I want nothing to manage. Everything. I want people to come in and have, self-service options. Yeah. Micromanaging to me, it doesn't do anybody good anymore. So to be able to walk in once you've gone through the first process is good. Like now you know how to use it and you can go in and do it. So you can do each of these on their own too. You do not have to do them all together. So there's different benefits for each service that is in that room. Sauna is infrared, which is heat. So a lot of people are familiar with saunas because they're like where you put the water over the rocks and it's a steam room. There is a different reason for that type of sauna. So this is just dry heat, infrared heat, and it absorbs into the body differently. So there's different reasons for absorbing into different parts of the body for different I lost the word that I'm trying to use, but different reasons for different types of heat. And then the red light actually penetrates through the skin. That's why you have to be naked, or it only absorbs on the parts of the skin that, are showing. So my nail tech, for instance, she just goes in and puts her hands in front of it. That's her problem areas. So different skin allergies, eczema, psoriasis, red light can help with that. Breathing, all of these can help with breathing, asthma issues. And then the cold plunge. So the cold plunge is multiple, probably the most important one that I like people to use, but the least used by people because they're scared of cold immersion. A year ago, I'm just going to tell my story. I met a human biologist, and he talked about cold plunging and breathing and, the first light of the day and vitamin D. A lot of people don't realize they can get the most important vitamin for free. Just go out and first thing in the morning and get your first light. I almost had to retire from hair because I couldn't stand. My back hurt so bad where there were times where I had to leave and I had to quit the day, like cancel my day because I couldn't stand there. So at that point, I was just doing it for weight loss though. I was like in this health journey of weight loss. I'm like, it activates brown fat cells. Like, what are brown fat cells? Go ahead and look it up. It's like an amazing thing. So, I started doing it for that. And then all of a sudden I was getting out of bed differently. All of a sudden I wasn't taking ibuprofen. All of a sudden, a year later, I have no ibuprofen. So the inflammation in my body is completely gone. I can stand there for 10 hours now and not have any pain.
Wow.
So I do it for those reasons and for the other benefits of it, which lowers cortisol, raises serotonin levels, raises dopamine. So it helps people with that fight or flight mode. Like there's so many benefits to cold plunging.
All right. So I'm going to do 20 minutes in the sauna with infrared. Then I'm going to get out. Then I'm going to walk over to the cold plunge. And the cold plunge is preset to a temperature. Do you and I discuss that temperature, or do you preset it, or is it always the same? How do you work that?
So to start out, it's at a higher setting. So the basis of it is 6 to 11 minutes a week in between 40 and 60 degrees. So no matter what you do temperature-wise, it's just 40 to 60 degrees. So obviously 60 degrees, you're going to be able to stay in longer. 40, you're going to want to get out in about 30 seconds.
Okay.
So.
And, you set me up, I think, 62 and a half. You gave me a real easy first shot out of the gate. But it wasn't that easy.
No.
I stayed in for 3 minutes without a problem. I didn't immerse my head underwater, which I'm going to do today. I'm going to try that out. One of the things I was worried about, frankly, is having a heart attack. Right. Didn't want to have a heart attack and have too much blood rushing to my heart too fast.
Right.
But I didn't feel that at all. Good. I didn't feel anything like it. I put my feet in. I stood in it for a second, and then I kind of squatted down and put my legs and got up to about my belly button. Yeah. And I took a break there for a second, and then I sat my butt all the way down and left my hands out. And then eventually, once I acclimated, I moved my arms in and down so I could feel it all the way up to my chest. I think I've jumped into cold pools before. I jumped into the ocean before. That's much more of a shock, and that can be dangerous. But if you just move your body into the water at a pace that you're comfortable with, and I think if you start at a reasonable temperature, so you don't go too extreme to start, you acclimate your body to what you're dealing with. Oh man, within a minute, I was feeling like a new man.
Right.
I was feeling good. My body was actually relaxing, believe it or not. I mean, I don't know if your head's slowing down or what's going on in there.
Well, it's your whole cortisol level lowers, your dopamine rises. So I explain it as like this euphoria. Like the first 30 seconds suck. They do. It's miserable. You just want to get out. And then all of a sudden this like just calmness comes over you and you're chill. You can just kind of stay in for a little bit longer. So anybody who has heart issues, anybody who has any type of cardiovascular stuff going on, definitely consult your physician first. We have waivers to sign for all of that to make sure, and then we talk about it to make sure that you're going in slowly, you're breathing, you're controlling your breathing, you're acclimating yourself. Just you did it perfectly. So you go in slow. Now me, I've been doing it for a year. I just jump right in and go right under.
Very cool.
Yep.
I will be doing that. Okay. I will be going. This is a crawl, walk, run scenario for me.
Yeah.
I want to get the hang of it. I want to see what I'm dealing with. But I think a lot of people, including myself, have looked at cold plunging for a long time. I got all kinds of buddies. I got a couple buddies in Florida that bought their own. They put them in their basement, little ones and whatnot. And I've heard of you or this scenario coming around for a while, but I was just like anything. I'm a little hesitant to try it. I don't know what it is. I want to do a little research and I don't know what it's like. And so I hope that this episode helps people to kind of live vicariously through my experience to realize, hey, this is a great thing.
Yeah.
And for the cost is not that bad. It's a great value, I think. And you have all kinds of packages and bulk, you can buy a bunch at once for a month or whatever. But the cost is minimal compared to the benefit. And the ease of use was another thing I was wondering about. There's places where you can go to sit in a sauna, but there's always somebody else there, and you don't want to sit naked in a sauna with another dude. It's just nice to have your own space.
Yeah.
I think having the time to yourself is really a part of the value. The place is spotless clean. You say the cold plunge cleans itself.
Yeah, it has ozone cleaner that goes through it every 5 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like it was brand new.
Yeah.
The water is cold, but it's just like taking a really cold bath. It's like sticking your foot into the cold water in a bath, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what that temperature is, but it's probably relatively close.
Out of the tap in the middle of the summer, your cold that comes out is usually around 61 degrees.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
But in the winter, it can get down to 44.
Really? Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Yep.
Well, it's cold, but it's not that bad. And I can't speak to 40 degrees yet, but I'll work my way down to it. I don't know. That just sounds rough. But, everyone I know who does it, they post on Facebook, they talk about their results. I've never heard somebody say, I cold plunge and it doesn't do any help for me.
Right.
Yeah. And every time I'm in Florida, I jump into the ocean and it's so cold in the winter to do that,
Yeah.
But it feels amazing on the body with the cold water and everything shrinking and tightening up. And I think it does a lot for inflammation. I think it does. I don't know what else. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but I know what I feel and you know what you feel.
Yep.
And I think it's interesting that you were doing it for another purpose and you backed into the benefits that you're feeling using it now. And I think it's even more amazing that you brought it to Midland and made your this dream of helping other people with their health a reality. I admire that very much.
Thank you.
So, all right. So if people want to do this, what's the best way to start and how do they get it set up and what do they do next?
So we have a Facebook page, Vital Hydrate, which is VITALHYDR, the number 8. And there's a booking link there, or you can go to the website, vitalhydrate.com, or you can go to Schedulicity and find it on there.
And you can buy one or you can buy a package, right?
You can. And I'm the same reason I opened an IV lounge. I want people to be healthy. I'm not here to make $1 million. My whole thing is to create a safe space for people to work, to come in and enjoy themselves and to heal themselves too, help themselves. So buying a package is definitely worth the money. It drops the cost almost probably 70%.
Michelle, thanks for being on the Talk Midland podcast.
Thank you for having me.